Hello, everyone, and a massive, warm welcome. It is an absolute pleasure to have you tuning in today. Before we get started on this wonderfully colorful topic, I want to take a moment to send my sincerest well wishes out to you and your loved ones. Wherever you are in the world, I truly hope you are feeling fantastic, staying safe, and are in the very best of health. Let's begin. I want you to picture something in your mind for a moment. Imagine a shallow, sun-drenched lake, its water a calm, blue sheet under a vast sky. Now, dotting that water, imagine not tens, not hundreds, but thousands of the most incredibly pink birds you can possibly conceive. They are standing on impossibly long, slender legs, often balanced on just one, their elegant necks curved into gentle S-shapes as they dip their uniquely shaped bills into the water. The scene is surreal, a living painting in shades of rose, coral, and crimson against the blue and green backdrop. It is, without a doubt, one of the most spectacular sights the natural world has to offer. Now, if you were to describe this gathering, what word would you use? A flock? A group? A herd? While those words are technically correct, the English language, in its wonderful creativity, has bestowed upon these magnificent birds a collective noun that is as perfectly suited to them as their own vibrant feathers. A group of flamingos is officially called a flamboyance. Isn't that just the most perfect word you've ever heard? It's not just a label, it's a description, an evocation of their very essence. A flamboyance of flamingos. It speaks to their extravagant appearance, their bold confidence, and the sheer, breathtaking spectacle they create when they come together. Today, we're going to explore everything about these incredible birds and understand exactly why the term flamboyance is so brilliantly fitting. To truly appreciate the flamboyance, we must first understand the star of the show, the flamingo itself. Flamingos are a type of wading bird, and there are actually 6 different species found across the Americas, Africa, Asia, and Europe. The most famous and recognizable are the greater flamingo, which is the largest and most widespread, and the Caribbean flamingo, which is known for its particularly vibrant pink and orange plumage. What sets them apart instantly, of course, is their color. But here's a fact that might surprise you. Flamingos are not born pink. When a baby flamingo, called a flaminglet, hatches, it is covered in a soft, white, or gray down. It looks nothing like its parents. So, how does it transform into that iconic pink beauty? The answer lies entirely in its diet. Flamingos get their famous color from the food they eat. They are filter feeders, and their primary diet consists of algae, brine shrimp, and other small crustaceans and organisms that are rich in natural pigments called carotenoids. These carotenoids are organic pigments that are red, orange, or yellow in color. You encounter them every day. They are what make carrots orange, pumpkins orange, and tomatoes red. When a flamingo consumes these carotenoid-rich foods, enzymes in its liver break down the pigments. These pigments are then absorbed into the fats stored in the bird's feathers, skin, and egg yolk, gradually dyeing the flamingo from the inside out. It's a process of literal consumption and transformation. The more carotenoids a flamingo eats, the more vibrant its color becomes. This is why flamingos in captivity, like in zoos, have their diets carefully supplemented with foods containing these pigments, such as dried shrimp or special pellets with added carotenoids, to ensure they maintain their beautiful pink hue. A flamingo's color is, therefore, a direct billboard of its health and the richness of its diet. A pale flamingo is likely not getting enough of the right food, while a deeply saturated, flamboyantly pink bird is thriving. It's a wearable testament to its success at the dinner table. And what a remarkable dinner table it is. The way a flamingo feeds is a masterpiece of biological engineering. Their most distinctive feature is their bill, which is completely unlike that of any other bird. It is large and it bends downward in the middle at a pronounced angle. This strange shape is perfectly designed for their upside-down feeding technique. They wade into the water, lower their head, and submerge their bill completely, positioning it so the curved top is underneath and the lower part is on top. Inside that bill is an even more incredible apparatus. Their tongue is a large, fleshy piston that fits tightly inside the bill. The edges of the bill are lined with hair-like structures called lamellae, which act like a tiny filter. The flamingo uses its tongue to pump water in and out of its bill at a rate of several times a second. As water is sucked in, the lamellae trap the tiny algae, shrimp, and other morsels inside, and the water is then expelled. It's a constant, efficient pumping and filtering process. Their rough tongue then helps to push the collected food down their throat. This allows them to feed in water that is rich in tiny life, but might be too salty or alkaline for other animals, giving them access to a food source with little competition. Their long legs are perfectly adapted for wading into deeper water to reach these prime feeding grounds, and their webbed feet help them to stir up the mud at the bottom to release food and provide stable footing on the soft, muddy lakebed. Every single part of them is designed for this specific lifestyle. Now let's get to the heart of the matter, the flamboyance. Flamingos are profoundly social creatures. They live their entire lives in large groups, and there is immense safety and benefit in these numbers. A flamboyance can range in size from just a few dozen birds to gatherings of tens of thousands, even over 1 million in some extraordinary cases. The term flamboyance captures the spirit of this gathering perfectly. The word itself comes from the French word flamboyer, which means to flame or to flare. It describes something that is strikingly bold, colorful, confident, and elaborate, something that is impossible to ignore. And a gathering of thousands of pink birds is exactly that. But the flamboyance is not just about looking pretty together, it serves critical purposes. Firstly, there is safety in numbers. With so many eyes and ears constantly alert, it is much harder for a predator like a jackal or a large bird of prey to launch a surprise attack. The group provides vigilance. Secondly, and perhaps most importantly, they breed in these massive, crowded colonies. The synchronization within a flamboyance is breathtaking. To have the best chance of their chicks surviving, the entire colony will often breed at the same time. This is triggered by environmental cues like rains that create ideal conditions. When it's time for the famous flamingo courtship rituals, the flamboyance becomes a living, moving ballet. They don't pair off privately. Their courtship is a group performance. They engage in a series of synchronized movements that are mesmerizing to watch. They will all march together in one direction, suddenly stop, and then switch direction in perfect unison. They will stretch their necks up high and then lower them. They will flap their wings, creating a wave of black and pink that ripples through the entire group. They call to each other with a loud, goose-like honking that creates a constant, low roar over the lake. This synchronized display helps to strengthen pair bonds and ensures that most of the females in the colony will lay their eggs around the same time. It is the ultimate expression of collective action. The flamboyance, in this sense, is a single, cohesive unit, a superorganism working together to ensure its future. The result of this synchronized courtship is a nursery on an epic scale. Thousands of pairs of flamingos will build nests simultaneously. Their nests are not in trees, but are unique mounds of mud, stones, and feathers that they pile up and shape with their bills. These mounds can be over 1 foot tall and have a shallow depression on top where the single, large, white egg is laid. The height is crucial as it protects the egg from flooding and from the intense heat of the ground. Both parents take turns incubating the egg, carefully standing over it and lowering their body onto the mound. After about a month, the egg hatches, and the flamboyance is suddenly filled with thousands of fluffy, white-gray chicks. These chicks form groups called creches, which are essentially giant flamingo daycare centers. The parents can leave their chick in the creche while they go off to forage for food. When they return, they face the incredible challenge of finding their own chick among thousands of nearly identical others. They do this through vocal recognition. Both parents and chicks have unique calls, and they will call out to each other until they are reunited. The parents then feed the chick a special substance called crop milk. This is not like mammalian milk. It is a secretion produced in the lining of the parent's upper digestive tract, called the crop. It is incredibly rich in fats, proteins, and, importantly, carotenoids, which start the process of turning the chick pink. This communal raising of young is another reason the flamboyance is so vital. It takes a village to raise a child, and for flamingos, it takes a flamboyance. The life of a flamingo is one spent in some of the world's most extreme environments. They are found in massive, shallow, saline, or alkaline lakes, often in very hot climates. Places like Lake Nakuru in Kenya, the Camargue in France, or the salt flats of the Caribbean. These lakes are often caustic, with a pH level that would burn the skin of most animals. The water can be so salty that it crystallizes on the bird's legs. But flamingos are built for it. Their specialized legs and scales are tough enough to withstand the harsh conditions. In fact, they thrive in these places precisely because the extreme environment keeps most predators and competitors away, leaving them with a virtual monopoly on the abundant food source of algae and brine shrimp. Their ability to live and flourish in such seemingly hostile places only adds to their mystique and their air of being otherworldly, flamboyant creatures from a different realm. The sight of a flamboyance in flight is another aspect of their existence that justifies their glorious collective noun. While they are most often seen waiting or standing, flamingos are powerful flyers. To take off, they need a long running start across the water's surface, flapping their wings vigorously. But once airborne, they are a vision of grace. They fly with their long neck and legs stretched out in a straight line, creating a sleek, cross-shaped silhouette against the sky. A flying flamboyance is a long, flowing line of pink, black, and red, often flying in a classic V formation to conserve energy. The sound of their wings beating and their constant, honking calls can be heard from a great distance. They often fly between different lakes at night, seeking out the best feeding grounds. Witnessing thousands of flamingos taking flight at once, filling the sky with color and sound, is an experience that stays with you for a lifetime. It is the very definition of flamboyance in motion. Unfortunately, the future of these flamboyances is not entirely secure. Flamingos face a number of threats, primarily from human activity. Their specialized habitat is incredibly vulnerable. Changes in water levels due to climate change, drought, or water diversion for agriculture can destroy their breeding and feeding sites in a single season. Pollution from industrial and agricultural runoff can poison the waters they depend on and kill the food sources they rely on. Disturbance from tourism, if not carefully managed, can scare birds away from their nests, leaving eggs and chicks vulnerable to the sun and predators. Conservation efforts are crucial. Protecting the network of lakes they use, establishing protected areas, and carefully monitoring their populations are all essential steps to ensuring that the world does not lose these spectacular flamboyances. Many of the Great Lakes where they gather are now national parks or World Heritage Sites, a testament to their global importance. So, the next time you see a picture or a video of a vast group of these stunning pink birds, you will know exactly what to call them. A flamboyance. It's a word that carries weight, color, and movement. It describes not just a random grouping of animals, but a living, breathing, synchronized spectacle. It describes a survival strategy, a breeding colony, a flying V formation, and a vibrant testament to the power of diet. From their strangely beautiful feeding habits to their synchronized courtship dances and their crushes of thousands of chicks, every aspect of their lives is a performance on a grand scale. They are a reminder that nature is not just functional, it is often extravagant, bold, and breathtakingly beautiful. They are, without a doubt, one of the most flamboyant acts in the entire animal kingdom. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the world of the flamingo and its flamboyance. I hope you learned something new and wonderful today. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.